So Alex Jones is a filmmaker, radio host, commentator. He has made several controversial films about 9/11 conspiracy. One of his most recent is called The Obama Deception. The basic premise of the film is that President Obama is really a puppet president under control of the major global banking powers, and that he's really just another version of President Bush and his extreme policies with a more charismatic face put on the presidency. It's an interesting film. It's controversial, of course, and ridiculed by some, loved by others. The main premise, I don't really know if I buy it, this concept about this global banking elite. Psychologists will say that if somebody is a conspiracy theorist or paranoid delusions, that they say they are after them. They're very unspecific about who they are, and the one shortcoming of the film is that he's not very specific as far as real names. If he said, here are the actual members of this global elite, he talks about the people who attend the Bilderberger conference, and he does mention a couple by name. Henry Kissinger, David Rockefeller, a couple people like that are mentioned by name. But other than that, he's not really specific about who these people are. How do they get to be in this power? Secretary of the Treasury Paul O'Neill certainly was extremely powerful. If there is a secret group controlling the world, wouldn't the U.S. Secretary of Treasury be a member? And clearly his views, speaking out against government actions now, don't really jive with it. So I would ask, would somebody who gets to be in? There's also a lot of very major, high-profile, multi-billionaire CEOs who run many multi-billion-dollar corporations who, by their public actions and thoughts, and even privately, don't really jive with this kind of plan. So I would ask, who are they really, and for some more specifics on that. He does bring up some interesting points about the comparison with President Bush and the fact that some of the policies are more palatable under President Obama. It is true, and something that Americans should be aware of, that somebody who is very, very charismatic would be able to maybe pull more over on the citizens. People like Adolf Hitler apparently was very, very popular early on, and the people loved him, and that's why he was able to do such horrible evil. Somebody who is hated by the public isn't probably going to pull that off. So it's something to be aware of in general with any politician. With President Obama specifically, I think the most valid concerns are things like his drifting from his stance of getting out of the war right away to kind of moving up the time frame and not really ending the war as soon as he said. So there's a few things like that. It's worth watching. I don't agree with the overall premise necessarily, but it's definitely worth a watch, and it's an interesting program. Alex Jones, The Obama Deception.